Yahoro minasan, this is Yuki, and this video is about recommendations for webtoons and manhwa with pretty drawings, in case that's what you have been looking for. The first one I would like to mention is To You Who Swallowed the Star. This is a bit of an older one, but has been picked up recently, and this webtoon is an age gap romance, so if you are not interested in age gap romance where the female lead is older than the male lead, then maybe this is not for you. It also has other triggers like abuse, violence, trauma, kind of bunch of dark themes in the beginning. So, in case you are the kind of person who is easily triggered, just be careful. However, the story is pretty good. It starts with this Nona older sister living in the neighborhood who see these two children in a difficult position with their drunk father and living with their grandmother, so she tries to protect them occasionally by bringing them to her apartment, trying to feed them properly some good food, and also teaching them like, let's say, if they have been in school and they don't know how to study for a subject, then she tries to help them. And so they grow into like a sort of family relationship in some way. And the story goes slowly through their childhood days, through high school, until the Nuna is actually having her own career, and then there were a lot of development. I don't want to spoil you further about the plot, but I hope that you give it a chance and also you really enjoy it, because the drawing is so freaking pretty. Yeah, so now I'd like to move on to the next one, which is also ongoing. It's called Iseop's Romance, and you might have seen this in some recommendation groups on Facebook or somewhere else, but I think what really attracts people to this particular webtoon is its realistic style. Like, I feel like the drawing is somewhere between 2D and 3D. It's not totally ingrained in 2D style. Also, the other point is that the male lead is so fun. He's just like, he's more interested and invested in the female lead messed up love life than her herself. Like, she doesn't even give a shit about what's happening with her boyfriend and things. Like, she's moving on with her life. She's like accepting things the way they are. But he's the one who's getting mad. He's the one who's getting involved. He's the one who's trying to pay back the cheating boyfriend. And she's like, whatever. Yeah. And also the female lead is his secretary and apparently his childhood friend too, and they have a kind of cursed relationship. I'm not gonna spoil you again on the content, but I hope you give it a chance. And yeah, there are a lot of funny memes about this webtoon because of how scary the secretary can be, and she even gave him some PTSD because she's chasing him with his tasks. Yeah. So the other one I would like to mention is Serena. Well, this is actually, I think, the most famous manhwa recommendation for people who love beautiful drawings, because the drawing is so beautiful. Like, I really have nothing to say. The plot might be a bit typical in the beginning. Honestly, I stopped it for a while, but I'm thinking of coming back to it. However, if you are into the trope of enemies to lovers, hate to love relationship, competitors, I think you would also really enjoy this one. And I think the heroine, who again reincarnated and went through some traumatic past in her past life, and she wants to save herself, she makes a really dramatic transformation from being like the princess in this really rich house, which is falling apart because nobody really knows how to do management or business properly, to a person who's really knowledgeable about finance, about management, about trade. And the whole situation starts as a bet that she can never learn these things, but she proves herself very fast learner and also very willing to get into the trade world and like butt heads with a lot of really old men, scary old men. I'm not gonna spoil you again further about it, but Serena herself is also strong in other areas like shooting, and that makes it all the more waku waku plot. Like, it makes it more interesting. Because if somebody is good at shooting and a trade, then that opens the door for a lot of plot developments, I would say. So yeah, the last one I would like to recommend today is Mother Contract Marriage. So I think I should first point out why I think this is a bit of special Manhua. First of all, the one who experienced the reincarnation and the memories of the reincarnation is not the main girl. It's not the small girl who's gonna be telling our story. It's actually her mother. And this mother, she was, for as long as the small girl knew her, a drunkard, a very irresponsible person who spends her money on trivial things. She doesn't pay the rent. She actually relies on her 7-year-old daughter to earn money and to feed her and to pay the rent and to do many things, which makes her very much untrustworthy. And you wouldn't really be able at all to process her change of personality in the beginning, and you would think that she's tricking everyone. However, the way the story is moving is kind of interesting because this mother, she gets suddenly her memories from her past life. She's suddenly grateful for her daughter. She's suddenly treating her in a very nice way. And in some crazy turn out of fate, she ends up marrying the emperor. And so this is where the life of the little girl changes from being working in the slums to like a recognized princess. So I'm not gonna spoil you further about the events, but the drawing is also very cute, and I hope you again give it a chance and tell me what you felt about it, if you have any thoughts or anything you would like to share. Thank you. Goodbye.